Good evening, everyone. I am Sidorian, joined here by the wonderful,
Harpo Gaming.
and we're coming at you a little bit earlier today with some awesome Halo action. I think it's going to be a good one. Who are we playing today, Harpo?
We are going to be playing Ohio State, but not their main team. We will be playing Ohio State Buckeye Halo Gray.
Buckeye Halo Gray. And I think the guys ended up playing Ohio State, their Crimson. I think it's their red team. I don't know. I don't want to miscaller the OSU callers because those guys are crazy.
Considering their power rankings, it just says Ohio State.
It just says Ohio
It
State.
just says Ohio State, and they're ranked number 3, so they are pretty good.
Yeah, those guys
Um,
were pretty good. We played them at the UK event a few weeks back.
the
So
the captain of the Halo Gray team actually was in that event. They're subbing in for them.
really,
Yes.
oh, I didn't realize that.
So it's not total
Hmm.
anonymity here. Like they've played each other enough to have some plans and forward. And I'm sure both teams have been watching some tape.
Yeah, I know at least specifically that Gambler. He's been watching a lot of film. Like, I mean, he's been watching a lot of film. I
He's
felt,
also been playing a
oh my
lot of
gosh,
Halo.
yeah, he's been playing an insane amount of Halo. I felt bad because I was like, hey man, you want to play some games? And then like I got distracted. I ended up like cooking dinner and just like walking away from my computer because he's like, yeah, give me a second, I'm gonna finish up this VOD. Putting in all that good work trying to figure out what all they've got to improve on. Because I mean, we've got the map list here, thankfully.
We do, and we are going back to Catalyst,
Yes.
which isn't great for our Halo team.
No.
We've learned they know very little about Catalyst,
Yeah.
but it is capture the flag.
It is captured. I think it'll be interesting. The only games I've really seen from Catalyst, even with like the professionals, is like Slayer.
Yeah.
It's like all I see is just Slayer.
Well, it's a map built to give a Slayer advantage to whoever starts winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that works at capture the flag because your spawn point's kind of set.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna be able to get that rolling momentum that you can in a Slayer match. We're gonna see if that maybe like breaks it up, maybe balances the map a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
or if 3-4-3 is just really bad at map design, and it stays just unbalanced to whoever was winning.
Whoa.
Wow, we have things turning on behind
Dang.
us. The magic of power.
The magic of power. You can see the Marshall one. I don't know if we're going to have to turn around and look. This one's not on.
That's fine. Oh, look at that. Our assistant's coming in.
We have the best production staff here, guys. I'm
do.
telling you what. I do mean it. I mean it so much. Just like I mean we're gonna be playing Capture the Flag on Kettle. Arbor, you have any like news to update us on from Halo? I
You
know we
know,
were talking about that a little earlier.
I have a little bit of news. Mainly about power rankings here.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So we knew Full Sail and Oklahoma. They both beat us,
Mhm.
and they're pretty high in the rankings. But they've dropped now. Actually,
Interesting.
Oklahoma went from rank 6 to rank 7, and not Oklahoma, Full Sail. Sorry, went from rank 6 to rank 7, and Oklahoma actually went from rank 8 down to rank 11, which is interesting because I don't believe either team has lost yet.
No, I don't think either team has. The problem is they like set up the bracket, and since it's a Swiss, they don't just have it like continuous. It gets like re-rolled. I think each win loss depending. I'm not quite sure. They don't have it fully released. I would like to. I'd love to see a giant spreadsheet with just monster tentacle bracket stretching
Just
out.
that would be awful to look at. That would make me cry, I think.
Yeah, but it would be awesome. It'd be so good. I'd be so happy. But because I love things that get out of hand. Because I think in this league there's 54 teams. I want to say, or is it
There's
48 teams? Something.
there's a stupid number of teams. Let me get the actual full number here. You just keep talking about things.
Yeah. No, I was just waiting to see what you got, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Last week was definitely, I wouldn't say necessarily a 100% challenging week for the boys, but there at the beginning, it was really nerve wracking. I mean, losing those first two maps right off the rip, kind of concerning. You never want to be on the back foot like that. And it was definitely pretty close on that capture the flag on, I think it was on Aquarius. And but after that, it was just like they turned it on 100%. The guys just rolled through the other team. I mean, those last two matches, I think it was effectively like a steak-tacular on both fronts, which is just insane. You never expect to see that, especially on a 3-0 sweep back. So I'm hoping they start off with this energy and it's just kind of a quick 3-0. But I also am a kind of a fan of watching the longer series. I don't know. I mean, how do you think it's going to go?
I think it's gonna be a close series. If we look at the pass rankings, because they've now reduced it to only doing top 15 as of recent. But pass rankings always had Buckeye Halo Gray just about 5 places behind Marshall.
Okay.
Which in the grand scheme of things, there are 56 teams in the league.
Okay,
So
56.
5 rankings isn't huge.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's not a massive margin, but it's enough where you could see where Marshall's going to have the advantage going into this match, especially starting out with capture the flag. Sure, it's on Catalyst, but Marshall this season has been on top of capture the flag. And after that, we go to Aquarius for Slayer, which is one of their better Slayer maps, and then we go to King of the Hill on Streets. So we have a very strong first 3 match set here for Marshall coming up. And we'll get to that 4th or 5th match if we even need to. It's possible we get 3-0 sweep either way. But I think that Marshall has the advantage going into this, but they're still got to fight hard for it.
No, I definitely agree. It's going to be a hard fight either way. I mean, 5 positions jockeying back and forth. It's not too much. I mean, personally, I think Marshall's a little bit underrated in the bracket, especially with just how things shook out. I mean, playing those first 2 teams that were such high in the power rankings so early on kind of like dropped our elo, I guess you could kind of say. And now we've just now been able to stabilize at a 2-2 record, hoping to improve that to a 3-2 record. And then I think they just need one more win to qualify for the tournament. I believe with this rule set, it's over 7 weeks. You need to have 4 wins, and you can have 3 losses. Obviously, it'd be nice to just win out and you go 5-2 for the series, but not sure if that's entirely possible depending on who the matchups are and like how the bracket ends up progressing as things go on. Because teams also drop out. Like once they get to a certain number of losses, they're like, I don't want to do it anymore. Not worth it.
Which is, that's a fair mindset to have. If you're going in, you're getting beat week after week, and there's no possibility for you to get up higher. I could see where the demotivation comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's the argument to be made. Well, you need to stay in just to 1 for commitment's sake, and 2 because play against better teams is going to get you better. It's that same mindset. If you're playing like Call of Duty back in the day, and you were just getting absolutely thrashed lobby after lobby, you kept playing because it made you better, even if you were getting thrashed. And eventually, you would stop getting thrashed.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. The guys end up scrimming a lot. They do a lot of scrimming during the week. I think just yesterday they played St. Mary's, I want to say, and Miami as well. And they had some really good matches against them. And that's one of the things you always have to appreciate with the Halo players, and really any competitive esports team in general, is that they're always looking for these scrims. They're always looking to try and increase their skill. They're not afraid to go against these tough teams. I know Marshall. I know they've scrimmed Full Sail many times, and even though we are losing, we still scrim them because they're just of that good of skill level, and it really helps improve things overall, especially with different strategies. I mean, we saw Marshall with some really great setups. Specifically, it was map 4 last week. I think it was Strongholds on live fire. I'm trying to remember. So, I don't think they came up with that on their own, so they probably picked it up from someone else.
Hey, listen, I don't doubt their innovation, but we are going to be loading right on in here. You see, we are green. We got to love when we are green.
Yeah, it only makes sense. I mean, after all, Marshall University is green. The Ohio State University is red. Loading in here, a little bit of Capture the Flag, playing on Catalyst, a map that neither Harpo or I know.
Hey, I played it that one time.
You played it one time? I don't think I've played it any times.
It's that I can definitely sympathize with it being an awful map. But
all right, starting off here, following Gambler. Marshall going ahead and pushing right up here at the center. Going to try and take this first engagement here. Dropping down, grabbing that overshield. Alex with a nice frag to open things up. And Marshall's going to go ahead and set up here on the right. It looks like with Gambler controlling both overshield and the repulsor. Seeing if maybe he can get some opening frags here as a couple trades come in here early for the game.
Excellent use of that overshield. It really just put some pressure here onto Ohio State.
Not really quite sure what he was planning on doing there. Burst seemed a little bit off. I figured if I was him, I'd be using that repulsor trying to knock those players back right now. Pretty equal trading across the board. It looks like there's 3 kills to each side currently. And now we have Alex coming in, getting a nice melee there. Obby coming in, trying to take a gunfight. Unfortunately, unable to clean that up. Obby's going to chuck that nade over there as he rotates out, trying to find some of his teammates, trying to set up. We can see Pi here coming in. He's really been liking that nice double burst there coming in, using that plasma rifle along with the BR to great effect.
I think you definitely see like the actual balance of Catalyst here with it being forced into a 3-lane map.
No, absolutely. I mean, Marshall getting really good call-outs and stuff right now, but you can really see it seems like they're kind of taking individual engagements right now, and as opposed to like what we've seen from the professionals where they're running around as a giant pack, this is definitely a different approach. Not necessarily a bad approach, but you know, here you can see Marshall starting to regroup and trying to take an angle and figure out how are they going to get this flag.
I definitely think it's an approach that's being encouraged by the map layout. You have 3 lanes to push down, so you're going to have to either leave one lane completely open or have 2 dudes push on their own.
Yeah, and this is tough right here. I mean, right now we've got Alex in the position to go ahead and grab that flag. He's going to rotate it over here to the left, taking it down this lower position. Oh, no, he's taking it to the upper position. Looks like he's lagging ever so slightly, and he is going to get taken down there. That flag dropped on the upper portion. No Marshall players there to respond right away as they set up the train. All right, maybe, and it looks like that flag will be returned here. No one quite making really any progress right now.
Definitely just a big back and forth stalemate. I believe we'll probably see an Ohio State flagpole that gets shut down into maybe another Marshall flagpole that gets shut down. But we need one of these teams to really try to get some good slays here, get some strategic kills to be able to pull ahead.
Absolutely. We see Obvi finally on the board here now. He had 0 frags there for just a second. Now finally able to get a second one. Waiting for him to turn on. You know, he's one of, as the in-game leader, he doesn't necessarily need to be their top fragger, but it definitely helps whenever he's turned on and he's ready to go.
Definitely, you see Alex just kind of holding a defensive position here, waiting for that strategic point to respawn, get some extra nades.
This map is really weird to watch. Like, right now, you know, it's small little engagements. Alex with a nice kill there, but he was just kind of sitting and lurking. I mean, I guess now they're in a good position to grab a pull here.
I think you're definitely seeing this just go against the entire feel and stride of every other map. Every other map really promotes that high octane gameplay, that incredibly fast paced.
And now he's able to get that out there.
Just that incredibly fast paced play that we're used to seeing here. But this map just wants you to go slow.
This is the strangest like exchange I've ever seen. He just kept picking it up and slowly backing up as Marshall just pushing out in the open completely, grabbing that flag. I'm honestly kind of dumbfounded as to how this map is supposed to play right now. It's going very, very, very slowly. As you can see, Sizzle for OSU moving that one out.
Now we just gotta wait and see which team is able to win the engagement of these flags. Because whoever can return their flag is definitely going to get a point here.
Yeah, and right now, it's the return there. Unable to get that return. Pi trying to play his life. Oh no, that's the overshield. It looks like that might be.
I'll be coming in though.
And it looks like that flag is probably for Marshall going to be returned here in just a second.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We saw Avi pop up there. Avi might have been able to just save it. It looks like he was able to.
Interesting.
It's still there.
Right. Yep. And now, because I was really concerned with that overshield being there for just a second, that Marshall might not be able to clean up that kill. Avi doing the best he can, pushing in here. It looks like there's a fair few Marshall guys.
Avi, great movement there, able to get behind his opponent.
And now maybe this is it. Oh, not quite. And they're going to get a touch on that flag. And we're going to sit here in this stalemate for as long as possible. Looks like Alex going for that skewer, jumping up onto the bridge. Nice movement there. Not great, and to be in that position. Oh, a nice hit on that skewer as he's waiting to see if there's any more players. One more there, just down below. Can he finish him off? A nice nade there, Alex, with 2 really good kills. There's a third. He's able to get it, unable to do so, unfortunately, as 2 more players spawn in for OSU.
But you definitely saw great situational awareness there and just great game knowledge there from Alex. Just knowing, like, okay, my shields are still down, but they're about to start coming up, so I can push this that little bit.
Yeah, he honestly played that really well. Obvi trying to play his life here right now. Fortunately, unable to clean up that engagement, and right now it's just some guys hanging out on the flag. Gambler, he is our anchor right now, holding down that flag, which is currently being contested there on the opposite side of the map as the other 3 Marshall guys are trying to figure out what is the best avenue for attack. Because I don't know the spawns on this map. I'm sure it's really weird.
I definitely think you're seeing an interesting play here where Marshall's the only one really pushing. They're able to keep Ohio State on that back foot, but Ohio State is just able to defend. So we're going to be left in this stalemate for a while till either team can find a break in the other one's line. But Vibrative Pi coming in with that overshield might be the game changer.
Yeah, I was hoping that this overshield might be the game changer. He's going to go ahead and just put his body on that point right there. Going to go ahead and touch it down. This might be what Marshall needs right here. That flag gets returned, and Marshall is going to go ahead and cap it. A really nice play there using the overshield from Pi to give them advantage.
Pi really turning up today, too. 14 kills right now, and beautiful shot there.
Yeah, that was really nice. And it's kind of terrifying watching the projectile move across the map. You know, I'm sure Gambler was thinking, oh, no, man.
Flag gets pulled.
But right now, Marshall has a numbers advantage as Alex is going to chase this guy down. And that flag run is going to be stopped there right in its trail as he's going to go ahead and get the return here in just a second.
And now we're going to see probably a Marshall offensive here.
Yep, 5 minutes left on the clock. Marshall right now has everything in their pocket to win the game. This is all they need. You have one cap, a nice double kill coming in there from Alex. Is he going to make it a third? He's not, as there's 2 players left there. Obvi trying to trade a few shots out. As Marshall just sets up for a pretty solid defense, but I know if there's any holes in that other team's armor, they're going to go ahead and push in and try and capture one more flag to give it a little bit of wiggle room.
Definitely, with this stalemate situation that Marshall's in, having that one flag capture is going to be huge for the rest of this match. There's still 4 minutes and 20 seconds left of regulation time. And that is a lot of Halo to still be playing. We've seen a lot crazier happen in less time.
Yep, that skewer getting juked around. Nice shot with the skewer there. Unfortunately, unable to clean it up as now Marshall's in possession of the skewer. They've got 3 shots. That's 3 potential kills right there with a big boy weapon. Unfortunately, unable to use it there for just a moment there. Obvi.
They're just the oppressive nature of knowing that the enemy team has that insta-kill weapon.
And it's very slow. It's such a strange dynamic. Obvi trading it out. So he's going to get the second. Unfortunately, unable to use that skewer to any effect right now. We know he's kind of a monster with the sniper out there in regulation play, so seeing if he can clean up this last player. Unfortunately, unable to do so.
Definitely seeing an interesting strategy here from Marshall. Instead of turning around trying to defend, just going to try to push and try to grab the flag of Ohio State as their defense, which, you know, it would work.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually going really well for... What? Well, I stand corrected. No.
They just want more stats. They just want more stats.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, they're in a really good position to go ahead and grab a pull, so maybe that was their plan all along, was to just let them have that cap, get the spawns in a really weird way, and rotate the flag over. A little bit of a fumble there, but honestly, this one...
I think it was a strategic point loss.
I think it was, honestly, and that was a really good call there. I'm sure, I mean, Obvi would have responded in that situation, so yeah. A really great move there from Marshall now.
Might have backfired here, though.
Yeah, might have, as we see a lot of OSU players starting to come in here. Alex from behind. Oh, the turnaround, unable to clean it up. And now it's just Pi left. That flag has been taken.
Grenade just being thrown out, just hoping.
Oh, he's just trying to play his life right now. Alex in a good position here to try and intercept that flag, it looks like.
Alex is going to be caught by himself here, unless his team can get up to him.
And that is the flag going down. Able to trade out those last couple players there, one behind. Oh, and a nice one there from Pi. Really close, almost didn't get away with that. Let's see, he's just waiting here for a second. He's going to get on that flag, get that return here for a second. And Marshall's only got to hold out for another 2 minutes here, and they pick up this first map.
Sadly missing that skewer.
You know, and that's the hard part with playing on the controller. They've got their sensitivity so low to make the bursting better that whenever you have to turn so quickly to try and make a quick flick like that, it's not in your best interest to do that.
You've definitely seen the limitations of a controller versus having a mouse.
Mouse and keyboard energy. And that flag has been pulled on Marshall's side once again, as Alex is going to go ahead and pop this overshield and take it right to OSU. A lot of shots coming in here. He's going to move underneath, moving around to the right to try and intercept. That's a full stack on OSU's side. And he does get taken down from behind. Not a great position right now for Marshall. They still have some wiggle room. However, if this flag cap does go in, that means they're going to have to get a pool of their own, and it looks like they're going to have to do that here in just a second. Oh, wait. I think they have the flag. They have the other team's flag.
They have the other flag.
Yep, they do.
Back into this situation, but this time still favoring Marshall. The longer that this goes on, the less that Marshall has to push.
Yeah, and right now, Gambler giving them the opportunity that they need right there, taking off that play, trying to play his life, running away, and getting back. He looks like he's the designated defender here. However, I think he missed out on an opportunity right there to really make a play because he got that first frag. If there's another player that was able to rotate over, it may have given them the opportunity to, well, no opportunities here, both getting taken down here.
You know,
as obvious.
I don't believe that any player was actually in a position to really be able to assist Gambler there.
No, and now Obvi's caught in a bad way right now. That's 2 players there on the flag, and it looks like, oh no. Oh wait, well, it doesn't matter because that was just to tie it up.
But now we are going to head into overtime.
Overtime.
Which is something Marshall could have avoided if they just held on just for a few more seconds there. If they had someone else rotate back, or even if Gambler maybe did push and cause a little bit of disruption there, we could have seen that already be over by now. We could see a, oh, it looks like we have a Halo crash from our observer here.
Woo.
So we are going to pretend like we know what's going on. There are some teams having some great firing right now.
Yep, they're having a little bit of fun.
We're going to go ahead, though, and hit you with some words from our sponsors.
We are the early risers, the go-getters, the all-nighters, innovators, the pioneers of the future, leaders uniting all to work together, creators, the artists that inspire, champions, we never stand down from a challenge, family, with a bond that will last a lifetime. We are
We've just finished up, I think, playing Capture the Flag on Catalyst. Not 100% sure what the outcome of that is right now. Unfortunately, our observer did crash.
Very
but
sad.
From what we saw, some really great play on both sides. Definitely a lot of hard work coming in from the Marshall boys. But OSU also, putting up a good fight there. At the very end, they were able to get that last flag capture and turn it into an overtime, which is naturally when the game has to crash. Right there at the most important time.
Listen,
Gotta love that.
We've seen it since Halo Infinite came out. Every time we go to overtime, our observer crashes out.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly a really sad fact. You'd think they would have adjusted the stability of the game at this point, but can only do so much.
You'd also think they've released more than one map by this point, too.
Harpo, I completely agree with what you're saying. I have heard some really good things coming out here soon, though, at least from the drop pods, which are kind of like the little update things.
We've been given word they're going to be playing sudden death. They backed out. Score is 2-2, so whoever gets a point here is just going to take this first round, which is going to be great to see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see here in just a moment as we're loading in. Marshall coming in green and OSU coming in at red. Our first viewing perspective is going to be following Alex Carr as he makes a push right up here to the center. Going to go ahead and try and get some action going on as Pi takes out that first kill. Alex coming through with a flurry of nades, hopping over, trying to take this interesting route, taking that shot over there to that OS player. Looks like OS does go down, and Marshall with a forward positioning to hopefully get a flagpole and get this one shut out real fast here in overtime.
Definitely waiting perfectly there just to get the back smack. Alex getting into a great position to just push for that flag. Gets a great double kill just like that. He's going to be able to pull the flag immediately.
And right now that forward positioning working really well for Marshall. Alex playing here for just a second. We're lucky. We can see where the enemies are in the casting, but they can't. As now Alex is going to rotate this one over here real quick, pushing it over here to the left side. Obvi coming in with a really great support frag. And that flag's dropped out there into the center. Unfortunately, Marshall's flag is getting pulled at the same time.
You see Alex dropping that flag behind for someone else to grab while he possibly goes for the defense. Avi is going to be going down.
I think one of my favorite things is watching immediately cutting to a person who just died and they're just ragdoll. That's all you see is ragdoll.
That's the best time.
And that skewer right there from OSU going down, Pi taking out that player, is now there is 3 OSU players up currently defending their flag. And Alex in position. He's taking the fight right to him, gets a nice double kill there. Is he able to get the third? Unfortunately unable to do so as that flag is going to get a retouch there. And now Marshall's got to push into the Hornet's Nest to try and get this flag so they can capture their own. Sweet kill coming in there from Obby. Cleaned up there for another one. One more OSU player is an emergent threat. As you can see, the second one starting to round the corner there. Obby taking an interesting route and engage these players up here on top towards the back of their base.
I see Obby getting trapped there, getting pincered a little bit.
Unfortunately being caught out there. Pi trying to grab that flag. And he's got it. I'm not quite sure what the plan is. Bringing it forward in a forward positioning right there a little bit. An interesting move. I'm not quite sure what his plan is to bring it so far forward. Gambler with the OS. If this is the time to do it, it's right now. Unfortunately, that OS does go down, absorbing just ever so slightly a small amount of damage.
Definitely going straight into a gunfight here. Going to have to back off. Wait for some backup.
Alex with a nice kill. And now Marshall. All right, there it is. This is it. This is the opportunity right here. Gambler cleaning up. That's all 4 down for OSU as Marshall touches that flag in, and that is a first map win for Marshall University.
And now we're going to be heading over to Aquarius for some Slayer, which is always fun to see. Slayer can go either direction. I definitely think that we saw both teams have equal slaying capabilities during that capture the flag round.
I think so.
But we really saw a different Alex there at the end, too.
He really turned it on, and that's one thing Alex does kind of sporadically is he'll be kind of middle of the pack with the frags, and all of a sudden, like, you come back from an overtime, or you come back to the next oddball round, and he's just slaying left and right, playing super aggressive, and that's his style, especially when he plays COD or things like that. He's a really good entry fragger, as you can see here. We have Gambler's perspective. He's coming in, getting that last one cleaned up, but Alex is the one who takes it there, getting in total 3 kills, allowing Pi to pick up that enemy flag, drop it in, and bring the map home. But like you said, Harpo, really good plays from both teams, honestly. I mean, especially OSU to tie that one up there at the end. But I don't think there was ever really a point where it was out of Marshall's control. You know?
I definitely think, I mean, you saw Marshall make some misplays here and there, and that's what got us to that overround time. But it's still interesting to see just how much better Marshall's gone at knowing when to go for the strategic plays and when to go for the strategic kills versus what they've been doing the past few weeks where it was really throwing away a lot of rounds that they could have won.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of those in the previous weeks, especially those first 2 maps last week. Those were definitely things where Marshall could have capitalized, especially when they've been playing things like Oddball. Oddball's not been their strong suit this season, which is something I really hate to see. But if there's one game mode to trade it out for, it's Capture the Flag. I mean, Capture the Flag is a brutal, brutal slugfest. And at the end of the day, if this is what wins them the series, so be it.
And we're going to see just that momentum go forward, especially with that dominating overtime round. That's going to play a lot of the momentum on both sides. You got to think if you're Ohio State right now and you're low in your head, you're thinking like, oh, well, we just really kind of got stomped there in that overtime round.
I know.
Sure, we were able to pull their flag, but we did not threaten theirs at all. And you might see that coming into the Slayer round as we're about to load in here. But it's still going to be interesting to see if that comes into play at all.
That's true. And we should be loading in here just momentarily. Going to be doing a little bit of Slayer here on Aquarius. It's going to be the next map. And this one should be interesting. You know, the problem with Aquarius is just setting up the crossfires. So we're going to have to see how Marshall has adapted to the ever-changing meta, especially when playing on this map. Oh man, I was misremembering. I was thinking of Recharge. My apologies. This one's just a straight dueling. I mean, there is a lot of crossfire set up, but
there's definitely you're gonna see interesting plays from Marshall here. They've been very 50-50 on Aquarius. They haven't dominated, but they haven't been stomped either. It's just been very in the middle.
Yep, and now we know the first thing they're going to do is going to go ahead and make a push towards this active camo. Unfortunately, getting it stolen away, and that active camo is going to be popped there by the OSU player. No frags coming out here right away. Heat wave in. On Obvi, unable to use that movement tech. Alex coming in with the heat wave here, getting a nice kill there. Unfortunately, Marshall not having a great start to this initial slay.
But that was the active camo that they shut down.
They did shut down the active camo, which is very important. Gambler looking for his first frag of the game here. Unfortunately, he does go down. That is that heat wave. Obvi able to clean it up, going to go ahead and pick up that heat wave. An absolute powerhouse of a weapon, especially in these close quarters maps.
It's definitely also important to remind our viewers at home that you really don't know who's going to be winning a Slayer match until you see the momentum start to get gathered around that 20-25 kill mark.
Exactly. Marshall now starting to pull it back ever so slightly. They not in the greatest position right now. I think they're getting caught out and they're getting caught apart. Alex turning and running. I love the very slow turns.
You're definitely seeing that very low sensitivity being put on display there. Just wide, slow turns.
But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of kills coming in here now. It looks like just about every player, with the exception of Pies, picked one up there in the cabinet. Now Marshall just within one kill here, as Alex is going to go ahead and push in, taking this fight here towards the middle, and then able to capitalize in that situation.
As now you see just great, long-range peeks here. Alvi getting some great shots in there. That lead has been shrunk down to just one kill ahead for Ohio State.
And now trade coming in there. Alex trading out with another player. You know, is it really winning one of his ones if he dies in the process?
I mean, he hasn't lost the one.
It's true, he hasn't lost the one. More like a neutral gain.
It's just it's a neutral one.
And he's going to take a few shots in here with the heat wave, unable to do anything with that, as now he's waiting for his teammates to join back up. Eyeing that active camo, he says, all right, guys, I want to get my hands on that. I've got the heat wave. It's going to be a good opportunity as OSU makes a play for it, unable to get to it as Marshall players gun them down from back in the base.
You see, immediately going after it, getting an excellent kill there with the heat wave, going straight into active camo, and this is where we're going to see a lot of free kills get had.
Honestly, right now, Marshall an advantage with one. Alex Carr coming in here quick, 2 shots in with the heat wave. He's just waiting, biding his time, trying to get up there, making sure he gets 100% one of those kills. Is he able to do so? Unable to do so. That dynamo grenade coming in quick. He's jumping around. No one's seen him yet. Nice one coming in with the heat wave. He gets traded out. Obvi going to go ahead and clean that last one up. Pie cleaning another one up. And that is 3 down for OSU. Marshall taking a nice little 2-kill lead here at this moment. Reduced to 1.
But that's okay, you know, leads, it's going to go up and down. As we said, you know, about the 20-25 kill range is when you're really going to start seeing one team start breaking away. And even when that one team breaks away, we've seen the impossible happen. We have.
We definitely have. Marshall, unfortunately, not doing too great in their slaying department right here at this very moment. Right now, the real slayer is Alex. And you can see that Pie and Gambler not having the greatest time here getting these frags, which is one we're going to need them to turn up here as Marshall does go down by 2 here at this moment. Just not doing too great on this Slayer section. Pie with a nice heat wave kill, but you kind of hope you get those there.
But bring it back down to just a 1-point difference. This is going to be a just tooth and nail grinding game. You're just going to see back and forth, all the way to that 50 points.
Yeah. Truly. Now let's see what do we have going on here. Anything interesting? Pie taking a few pot shots there with the heat wave. It's obvious setting up here in this corner positioning, and it looks like Alex has control of that active camo, and he's just looking. He's looking for an opportunity. This guy's not. Oh, no. Not great. Not great. Ooh. But the camo persists. He's going to take a gunfight. He gets one. Taking another gunfight. He's going to be able to get a second one. He is able to get that second one. Really nice bursting coming in there as Marshall clears out the OSU team, taking the lead by 5 kills here. And that's the swing that they needed.
Definitely going to start giving them some momentum. We might actually see that breakaway happen here. Great dynamo grenade just being thrown out, but unfortunately going to lose their life.
4 kill advantage here. Now hopefully this is the time where we say, like I said, Harpo, they start pulling away. Both Gambler and Obvi now. Huge push coming in here from Marshall. Big team battle here in the back of the base. Is Gambler trying to chase that player down, unfortunately unable to do so, but another Marshall player able there to clean it up. As Alex is going to push over here to blue room.
I think the most important thing here to note is that Marshall's been able to hold that lead that they gained. That 5-point lead they gained, still there.
Definitely. You can see Gambler starting to pick up a few more frags here. Pi, he's on rate now. One going for an even trade out there. Obvi also going even. Right now it's Alex who's really bringing in the slays and helping Marshall continue to advance their positioning.
Now we see Alex really on the back foot here.
Unfortunately, those nades doing what they are designed to, blowing up. And now Marshall only within 2-point advantage here. See if Gambler can grab this kill. He's able to do just that. You can see that OSU player was starting to sweat a little bit there. He went to grab that weapon right off the rack and was trying to get one of those nice little medals. Unfortunately, unable to do that. Gambler was in position, and now he is looking for the next fight. Having a tough time cleaning up this person middle. Unable to do just that, but he does go down from a shot at base.
As you see that Marshall lead's starting to evaporate here.
It is only 1 kill right now as Marshall's going to sit up here and try and figure out what the heck is going on. Alex taking a fight. That player drops down. You can see all 4 of them there on the other side of the map. Gambler taking a nice engagement, trading that one out. And Marshall still with a 1 kill advantage. And now the game's going to slow down a lot.
Yeah, we're going to see just a lot slower gameplay. This is what you usually see around this 30 to 40 range. It's slow gameplay as both teams try to figure out how they want to try to put away this round.
And unfortunately, Marshall unable to clean up that kill there. A few kind of trades coming in right now. Right now it is just trading out. Marshall going up by 1. Obvi picking up that heat wave. Missing that point blank shot. That's unfortunate to see right there.
Unable to get the trade. But I definitely think you're seeing a bit of an issue here with Marshall where they're kind of treating this like a public match. They are just kind of running around. They're not moving as a pack. And you're seeing them get picked off left and right because of that.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and regroup and try and re-strategize to figure out what they're going to do here for these last 14 kills that they need to close out this match. Definitely doable because now all the Marshall players are starting to frag out a little bit better as opposed to the OSU. You can see Klon T with only 4 frags. Now Obvi's trying to take this fight over here in the hallway. Tucking back into that corner. And now Marshall down by 2. Pi sending out some nades, able to clean up a kill there.
Cobra team nearing victory.
And now only 10 kills needed for OSU to close this one out and put Marshall on an equal footing in a 1-1 score line. Let's see if Marshall's able to fire back and change the trajectory of this match.
It's definitely possible that active camo is going to be fought over immensely as soon as it spawns back in. 2-point lead persisting here for Ohio State.
Now down to 1. This is what Marshall needs. They need to tie it up and they need to start just 1 kill at a time after that. You know, if you get a 1-point advantage, trade out every other kill after that, you're winning the match. And now Alex pushing in. Huge wave of Marshall players getting ready to crash with these OSU players. Alex coming in real tight, real close here. That's 2 going in favor of Marshall. 1 more. Is he able to get the second one? He is able to get the second one. Is there a third? Looking for that last player. He's nowhere to be seen. 2 kills advantage for Marshall right now.
Marshall really coming together here in this final stretch, really trying to show that they deserve this win here, but Ohio State's not going to take it lying down.
Nope, right now, only one kill difference.
It's just tough gunfight after tough gunfight, back and forth. Alex needs to win this, but he's unable to do it. There's just a trade of players both ways, 47 to 47. 3 kills left for both sides.
We can't say he doesn't win his 1s because that was his 3s apparently. 3 players. And now it's got to be pack fighting. Alex is going to go ahead and open up this next exchange, taking down one player. Is he able to get the second? He is, and that's the round.
That's the round.
That's the round.
After a grueling stretch to 50 from both sides.
That was
back
tough.
and forth, just trade after trade, loss after win, and it was definitely just a crazy ride to be on there.
It definitely was, and it's one thing that always surprises me whenever we're going into these Slayer matches is you reach those last 5 kills or those last 2 or 3, and it's quiet, and it just sits, and all of a sudden it's just a flurry of activity, and then you see victory, winner. You know, so strange how that one always plays out. It's never like, oh, I'm at 49, we're at 49. You can see here Alex coming in with one of these earlier frags. Really nice kill there. He's trading out with these, and every Marshall player picking up a frag there.
And another one.
This is a really close one that he had there. I was kind of sweating a little bit as he took that first engagement. Didn't quite have his shields recharged. Definitely the MVP of this match.
Alex really turned up both here and last round too. Alex is really showing his value to the team here. You can see that clearly in all these clips, and you're going to see right here just those final 2 kills happening within seconds of each other. There goes down the one, and the other one dropping down directly after, giving Marshall that victory.
Yep, and the way it looked like is sitting there on the map is Alex took that fight there over the right towards stairs, and Obvi shooting from base intercepted that other player trying to drop down and flank around to engage Alex, netting us those last 2 kills. Really, that exchange, I would like to think, could have gone either way, depending on who got the jump on who, but it seemed like Alex had really good positioning because he's able to get that initial frag, bring it up to within 2, take the second engagement, and Obvi, of course, has to steal the game-winning kill. That's just the nature of Obvi when he plays.
Well, I think you also could have seen just something incredibly different. If
Yeah.
Avi or Alex just missed 1 or 2 of those bursts, and that kill went the other way.
That's true.
Because then we've been left in a 2v2 situation, both teams primed and are ready to take the win. And we really could have seen Marshall lose there.
We definitely could have seen Marshall lose there, but I think we're going to see a really strong game out of them here coming up on the next map. We're going to be playing on Streets, and we're going to be playing King of the Hill, and I definitely think that's one of Marshall's better game modes at this point, is King of the Hill. And they've been doing a little bit of tech work on King of the Hill. They've found some guy, he made a YouTube video where you can stand in certain points of the map and throw grenades, and it'll launch the weapon towards you, and your character will just pick it up.
Oh, that's always just nice to find.
Yeah, so they're going to try and, I don't know if they're going to utilize those quite yet, but to grab the rockets in the middle of the map, instead of exposing their person to it, they could just launch it to themselves with grenades, which I think is going to be pretty interesting to see if they can pull that off.
I think it's definitely going to create a different dynamic to that rocket fight, because we always see right at the beginning of the match there's that huge scramble for who can grab those rockets, and those rockets are a huge game decider for the rest of the match. And that first fight is the most important, but if they can just avoid that fight and just bring the rockets to them and then use those rockets to win that first engagement to get that first hill, that's going to be huge.
It definitely is, and because I'm not sure if you remember. Do you remember where the first hill spawns? Is it over on B?
I forget if it's over on B or if it's on the rockets.
Or if it's on the rockets?
I forget which it is exactly, but it is towards that center area.
Because that's the worst position to be in, is if you have to defend that center point, it's awful. You're getting shot at from literally every angle of the map is designed to look towards that center.
Because now we're going to see, we're loading on in. I guess we'll be proven either right or wrong. That's either on B or in the center. I think it might be B. That sounds right.
I think so. It just vaguely remember that. And here we're following Obvi as he's going to go ahead and grab this drop ball and push over here towards shotgun side. A nice little slide boost coming in as he's going to pop a few nades over there and take this first engagement with the OSU players, as contention for the Rockets will begin here momentarily. And Marshall setting up with a... Oh, Alex has control of the Rockets. Unable to use them to any effect. Unfortunately, it seems like they just splashed right off of him. Seeing if maybe Pi can clean up this last kill. Those Rockets are still in play. One more left. And that hill is under control by OSU at the moment.
We're going to see Marshall try to collapse onto that. You see Pi using that commando. Pi's been really favoring that commando.
He likes the commando. I never personally have found a way to do it, but Alex getting the value of his rockets there, finally unable to connect with that first one, but does get the second and pick up a nice double kill as he's sliding in, picking up the third. A really great exchange for him here in the beginning with 4 kills.
And you see Gambler coming off to the other side, playing aggressive still. Just trying to keep Ohio State away from pushing into that hill. Definitely a smart play here.
And you can see Marshall playing very passive on the point, just holding back right in the corner in a position to right there, dip off to the side. Alex is going to go pushing into Arcade, taking a few shots here towards Tires with a nice stick. He's able to clean up the guy going to Arcades. Oh, he says, I might need a BR here in just a second, guys. A nice kill right across there. Killing spree, getting a nice double. Is he able to get the triple? He is able to get the triple. A massive plays coming in here from Alex Carr as that first hill secured by Marshall.
And still, even with that first hill secured there, it spawned right behind Marshall. Marshall doesn't have to move any defensive positioning right now.
No, this is exactly where Marshall wants to be right now. Trying to push in, not optimal, especially, you know, with rockets that were in play and such like that. And the Stalker rifle, I mean, it's definitely hard to put that to good effect, but Alex showed you right there a masterclass in doing just that. And Pie.
A great kill right there.
And I always forget everyone uses the Sentinel beam. I've honestly not seen much use of that weapon, but it can definitely melt.
I definitely think you are seeing a huge difference from last season to this season, where after the Halo Infinite campaign came out, you're seeing a lot more of those more obscure power weapons start to get used because people got practice with them during that campaign. And realized, hey, these aren't terrible. We just have to use them differently than Battle Rifle.
And Gambler trying to play his life here. Marshall not really doing well in the Slays department with the exception of a singular player, Alex. 8 frags, having the majority of the team's kills right here. Gambler coming in, finally getting on the board here. And I think this second point here might go in favor of OSU. Marshall, I think, opting to just get in position for when it rotates right over here to PD. Yep, they're right in position already.
It's just a smart play there, just to let that happen. Just get that switch over and just already be in that defensive posture. Able to get that great flank there. And Alex's back must be hurting just a little bit right now.
Just ever so slightly as he's pushing this last player. Coming in, some really nice shots there, using that, I guess the assault rifle to great effect. I've always had a hard time using it, but when you're going up against battle rifles, if you have narrowed the gap, it's definitely much more effective than waiting for the burst to reset each time.
Well, you also see the advantage of the assault rifle. You saw Alex pre-fire there. You can't do that with a battle rifle.
No.
But that pre-fire is what gave Alex the advantage on that peak.
And now, unfortunately, I mean, really, Alex carrying this match for Marshall right now.
We need to see either Pi or Avi really step up back into that role that they usually play of being a top fragger. Because right now, Alex can't do this all on his own.
No, he definitely can't, and Pi's looking to do just that. I think he's starting to warm up here a little bit. He's not doing too bad. I mean, 2 kills, 3 deaths, can't tell you too much about it. Not like he's getting absolutely bullied, but we need to get some more of those frags coming in. As Gambler's going to do just that, getting a nice double kill here for just a second. Pi pushing in, upping his now, and it looks like Alex in control of the Rockets, picking up 1 kill there. We saw on the feed, is able to get the second. He is from the grave.
You know, still just trading out. He won't lose his ones, but he will trade his ones.
He will trade his ones. He will go neutral on the ones. And now Pi looking to put this disruptor pistol to good use. And some nice kills coming in here from the Marshall side. That is 2-2. No one on the point at the moment. And you know, they're trying to play their life to the best of their ability. They need to get these slays, and you can see a huge red wave coming in there on the other side from Market. And Alex in position, a lot of damage being done. No kills coming in quite yet. As 2 huge kills coming in there from Avi, a 3rd one as well in the kill feed. And it looks like Marshall has dominated this section of the map. And now they should be able to go ahead and convert this point over and take a 1-point lead.
You know, we really just had to make fun of the rest of the team, just that little bit by saying that Alex was carrying them. And I think they've heard us through like osmosis or something.
They have. Avi just doubled his kills off that 1 point right there. Is he able to get more? He is. I always love seeing the shot caller pop up. I think Avi might be the only person to spam locations in game.
You know, I still remember our first time seeing that shot caller medal and
we were
just
like, what is that?
Being very confused. Because it's not something you see too often. Most people, when they play Halo, or even, you know, in the pros when they're playing Halo, they don't ping as much as Avi does.
No, Avi's constantly pinging on the map.
I think Avi's just remapped it to make it so every time he shoots, he pings.
He shoots, he pings. You guys, right there, right there, right there. And now trying to play for these Rockets. Obvi taking this engagement to that player over there in tires. And it's a lot of shots coming in over there from Streets. Pie with the with the shotgun. Ooh, rockets? Rockets? I
Something.
think.
An explosive.
An explosive? Rockets.
It wasn't rockets.
Hey.
It was probably a grenade, but it was.
Ooh, a nice double kill coming in there from Obvi. Unable to convert it into any more, but he is putting that last rocket to good use and getting the smack down there.
That was a huge double kill there. That was enough to give Marshall full control of that point.
And now Pi pushing up to try and get this forward positioning to give Marshall a little bit of wiggle room, keeping those enemies right off of them, you know, from getting right up on them. Nothing worse than rounding the corner and right there be able to four stack of people looking you down.
This is definitely a very different Marshall than what we saw last time on King of the Hill and Streets. Yeah. Last time they were trying to play off point. They're trying to like go get that full wipe and then come back and hold it. But I think they've learned their mistake on that, and they realized, hey, if we just hold this, we can just win.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that I mentioned to them when we were talking. I was like, guys, I know that you're trying to play it like the pros and everything like that, and that's definitely good for the future. But right now, you just got to keep a body on the point. At the end of the day, you win by having the most points. And if they're able to take this last hill, a nice double kill there from, not entirely sure who got that one, as 4 Marshall players are down here now. Pi just now respawning.
You know, I'm going to be honest, I feel like if any point is just not held, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, no, this one is definitely a challenging one to hold. I mean, for OSU, they have to. If Marshall takes the hold here, they win the match because it's only 4.
And if Marshall just denies the point long enough,
they also win. So this is something that OSU is going to have to throw bodies at this objective. And honestly, I'm not sure if Marshall's wanting to really deal with it. They may just wait till it rotates up here to the B point. You saw how effective they were at maintaining control over that B point, especially with Alex. I mean, he was going crazy on him.
That could be a really good strategy on Marshall's part too. Just get really set up, get really ready to just defend that B point. Just let that center point go.
And that's one thing that they did in their earliest match of the season against Longhorn Gaming. They just waited. Like, as you noticed, when no one's touching the hill, time just keeps ticking down. So they just kept them off the hill so the map would end whenever they were up by 3, instead of trying to push and keep losing their life over and over and over again.
I see a lot of grenades being thrown out from both sides. Best thing to do when you just vaguely know where someone is, just chuck a grenade at them. Great double kill here from Alex, as Alex is going to start trying to cap that point.
And now I guess Marshall's opted to go for this. That was a full 4 players down for OSU. Now they are back. Alex just kind of standing out in the open, says, "What? What do you mean they're shooting at me, man?"
I mean, to be fair, there's not really any cover to stand in there.
No, there isn't.
You stand in the middle of the street and you just wait to get shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's streets. You're just hanging out in the streets. And I'll be getting a nice kill there. Gambler not having the best match right now. You know, it's tough. This is definitely a tough map, especially if you're starting to get rotated on the spawn. But
well, I think Gambler's stats are always looked at weirdly because he is more of a support player to the team.
He does. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And that's a very important role to have, especially when most teams just think, oh, let's have all fraggers because it's Halo. We just need to shoot people. But that support role is huge.
Mm-hmm. You definitely do. And he's still getting good frags. I mean, but we've got Alex right now, and he's going absolutely insane. A 2.0 KD, 24 frags in his bucket right now as he's dropping down here onto the point and trying to see if he can get into any engagements, taking some fights back there to see. I think he might be getting pushed from behind. Nope, that's just friendly fire.
Well, so friendly fire happens sometimes. You know, you just get slightly annoyed at your teammates, so you just shoot him in the back a little bit. Great, a double kill there too by Alex.
And control of rockets by Marshall. This last point should be converted here in their favor in just, oh no, going down those rockets.
That could be the game changer. Great trade there, but it didn't matter.
In the end, it goes in favor of Marshall.
And that's going to leave Marshall with a 3-0.
A really nice 3-0 at that. And this helps improve their record, you know. And started off the season with a nice win, went on a 2-loss streak, and now a 2-win streak, improving their record to 3-2. Only need 1 more win to make it to the final bracket, which is, you know, important. We always want to get more games of Halo in, and I think they can do just that.
I think this was like no knock to Ohio State. They played very hard.
Mm-hmm.
They could have easily won that Slayer round or easily won that Capture the Flag round. But that King of the Hill, Marshall just really woke up and really figured out what they needed to do to win.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that's challenging about Marshall is that it just takes them a little bit to wake up. And you can't always do that, especially say this was a best of 3 series. You don't want to be waking up on the last map, especially because you've already need to have won a single map at that point to continue on. But overall, the guys played really well. Gambler playing a really good support position, like you said, but Alex, an absolute monster on the frags with a total. I think he ended up the match with like 26 or 27. I'm not entirely sure, but without him doing that, I don't know if it would have been this close.
I definitely think that he's going to need to go see a chiropractor after this.
Oh, absolutely.
Even on that Slayer match,
Oh, yeah.
Alex was just turning up.
He really was.
From the time that we had that overtime on Capture the Flag to the end of the series, he'd just been getting slay after slay, and they weren't just random slays either. They were very strategic. They were very important map-changing, game-impact slays. And you're going to see some of those here. Well, this is Avi, but you're still going to see some great impact here with Avi. This huge double kill, which is going to give Marshall that 3rd point, almost uncontested.
Yeah, that one was absolutely essential. Him getting that shot around the corner to knock that player back, the other player pushing in and getting his slide not quite to where he wanted it, and allowing Avi to get that singular burst in, let him get the melee complete clinic. Just one burst, melee, done. And that really did let them lock down that last point, moving it there to the center where Marshall was able to just kind of just wrap things up, put a nice little bow on it,
A very explosive bow, but still a bow.
Still a bow, yeah, still a bow. But really great work from the guys. Everyone, we hope you've enjoyed the matches this evening. I know it's a little bit earlier than normal, but we love being here for you. We love talking about some Halo. And we look forward to seeing you next week, hopefully at our normal time, but we'll keep you updated.
And even if it's not overtime, we still have Overwatch also tonight.
Yes, we do.
So stay tuned for that coming up at, I think, 7, I believe.
I believe 7. We should have Overwatch here for you guys. And just enjoy some more games. We've got plenty of them coming out for you this week. I've been Sidorian.
I've been Harpo.
And thank you for joining us for some Halo. We'll see you next week.
We are the early risers, the go-getters, the all-nighters, innovators, the pioneers of the future, leaders uniting all to work together, creators, the artists that inspire, champions, we never stand down from the challenge, family, with a bond that will last a lifetime. We are